Hey there, I'm Andrew Farr, and welcome back to Water Finance Management Conversations. I want to talk for a couple minutes today about some topics that have been very central to our coverage in the journal in recent years. And I have a great guest joining me to help me do that. He's a Senior Vice President of Technology Solutions at Mueller Water Products, Kenji Takeuchi. Kenji, it's good to have you today.
Thanks, Andrew. It's really great to be here. Thank you.
So, Kenji, you serve as a member of Mueller's executive leadership team. You have global responsibilities for new product development, product technologies, information technologies. And so your focus is really on these connected digital water solutions. And that's certainly what I want to get into a little bit of. First, let's start with some utility challenges. I'm curious from your perspective, and especially with such a wide-ranging company like Mueller that has a long history in the industry. You guys have a lot of utility customers across the United States. What are some of the challenges, or even a single challenge, if you could pin just one down, that you see happening consistently, that a lot of utilities are dealing with, that really impacts their financial health?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is really the aging infrastructure. I think I've heard the statistic that in 1970, the pipes were about 25 years old, and today the pipes are closer to 50 years old. So clearly aging. So the rate of non-revenue water and water loss and burst rate of the pipes is just significant. And so it's nearly impossible to keep up with all of the maintenance and anything predictive or anything ahead of time, for sure. So just keeping up is a challenge, and obviously that creates a big financial strain on how do you prioritize those fixes.
So as I mentioned, you have a lot of experience working with these new digital technologies, and we have a lot of technologies that incorporate these advanced sensors and IoT platforms, and we're hearing a lot of on AI and machine learning. And that was something that I wanted to get into a little bit. So maybe start off by defining machine learning for us, and what exactly does that mean when we talk about it in the water sector? What are some of the capabilities that these technologies are giving us that maybe we didn't have 5-10 years ago?
Yes, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. So when you hear artificial intelligence, it's really kind of a broad category where computing and these different type of methodologies give us intelligence and give us insights, and those are traditionally, like maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, were like statistics and other type of analytics that give, and maybe you can visualize it, and it solves very specific problems when you know what you're trying to solve. Machine learning is a subset where the algorithms and the models can actually learn and adapt. So learning and adapting is important characteristics of machine learning. And it can actually start finding problems and finding solutions and insights that you didn't think of, that a human didn't think of. And so this is where machine learning is now starting to be able to provide insights to people that look over the data, like your asset managers or your work orders, or your operational managers or field supervisors. So everybody can now start getting insights from the automatic and adaptive learning of the data.
And so let's take that a step further now. To me, in my mind, utilities, water utilities and wastewater utilities for that matter, they have so many projects that are going on at one time. They have so many things on their plate, and so project prioritization really seems key, and asset management programs and things of that nature are all geared towards making sure needed projects are getting done. So in what way does machine learning and some of these technologies that we're talking about that improve supposed to improve our decision-making capabilities, how does that improve project prioritization?
Yeah, so we talked about the main problem is being able to prioritize, because we just can't possibly keep up with the aging infrastructure and the needs of the replacements and repairs. I'd actually heard that many utilities can only address 1% of their needs of replacing their pipeline, which is pretty incredible compared to the burst rates that we're having. So using machine learning and poring over the data, using sensor data, and even fusing data from different types of sensors and different type of data sets allows an asset manager to really start pinpointing where should I put that 1% of our budget, and oh, by the way, budgets are decreasing over time, which is another stress. So in a decreasing budget scenario and having to pinpoint, so through machine learning, you can do analysis like what is the greatest consequence of failure, what is the greatest likelihood of failure. When you look at the consequence, like how bad is it going to be versus the likelihood, you can use these insights to say, this is where I want to attack first with regard to using your precious, operational expenses.
And so, just as a quick follow-up to that, maybe give us a little bit more on kind of what Mueller is working on right now in this space and kind of how you guys are trying to address some of those challenges.
Sure. We're developing on top of our platform, our software platform, which is called Centrix. And on that platform, we have our data lake that we bring in data from all types of sensors, including acoustic and pressure and flow. But what we're able to do is be able to pinpoint leaks. We can pinpoint them through our acoustics and machine learning and be able to highly accurately say, this is where the leak is, and here are the leak sizes and the consequences of those leaks, and help prioritize as an example for leaks. The other ways that we use Centrix and our machine learning on top of the data lake and data set that we have is to be able to look for anomalies. We can look for anomalies in the water network, say pressure anomalies or other type of sensor anomalies from some equipment like pumps and control valves. And those anomalies we can use as an early detection to tell our field supervisors, tell asset managers to go pay attention to this area, because if we pay attention to it now, it'll be a lot less expensive than paying attention after a catastrophic failure.
Yeah, so it's a much more proactive approach, and to me, a lot of what you're talking about, and we're talking a lot about it, a lot of different areas in terms of water utility management, leak detection. You're talking about pressure management, water quality. These are all these different areas that are being impacted. Taking a bigger view of this, I think if we can just kind of look to the future a little bit. There's a lot of talk about smart cities and these utilities becoming smarter, where they fit into maybe a discussion about smart cities and how smart water utilities, I guess, help a city become smarter. I guess that's the concept. Give me your thoughts, if you will, on smart cities, where the United States perhaps stands in that discussion. Do we have any smart cities? And then, on top of that, where do water utilities in the United States really fall into that discussion?
I do believe that it's a very important discussion to think about smart cities and where water does fit in it. Today, I think our largest smart cities, at least the ones that are most well known in the US, maybe New York, San Jose, San Francisco. But the problem statement is that urbanization, that's another well-known problem that stresses our water networks, is urbanization. Again, I think I've seen that in 2050, we're supposed to have 70 to 75% of the human population living in cities. With that kind of stress, there's going to be water scarcity, there's going to be water quality issues, and so we need technology to help conserve, to help predict and the point of a smart city is to use technology, IoT data, sensors, and to help with critical infrastructure, help critical infrastructure be more efficient and serve the public better. And so I think it's very clear with this very large problem coming that smart cities are focusing very heavily on the different ways to operationalize to really to benefit society with regard to water, clean water, and scarcity.
Absolutely. Well, and Kenji, I think that's probably another topic that we could spend quite a bit of time on. But it's been great talking to you for a couple of minutes and hearing your insights on these. So Kenji, thanks again for joining me today to chat for a little bit. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It was fun.
And we'll leave it right there. So thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time on Water Finance and Management Conversations. Take care.